Dude, this is the day. Simon's
Miss
about
Sociology.
3.
And what are you doing later today?
Korea values its education highly, as you both know. But it's a love and hate relationship. I mean, you know, education is what got Korea from out of the ashes of the Korean War and here. But at the same time, you know, other people criticize us, but I think we criticize ourselves the most harshly about the fact that we overemphasize education, that we put too much pressure on our kids, and you know, education becomes everything and sort of really engulfs young people and makes them unhappy in many ways. What do you think about, you've obviously seen both sides of Korean education. From your perspectives, how do you see it?
I think what your question makes me think is not even specific to education. I think it applies to a lot of things in life that when we hit the same note, eventually that can become toxic. And so I think that if the culture is saying, we're not sure about this anymore, that it probably means we need to do some things differently, right? So I think that it's like the culture has diagnosed itself already, but there's a system in place that is difficult to change, right? Because there's all kinds of stakes when things need to change. And I think from an outside perspective that's the struggle that you all are in with education.
And when you put so much emphasis on test scores, as happens here in Korea, and test scores really are everything, then it means that you necessarily have to emphasize rote memorization and de-emphasize creative thinking. And I think that Korea is in a place right now where creative thinking is going to be what's going to pull the nation forward and solve some of the big intractable problems that are facing Korea. And in fact, emphasis on high test scores is actually going to continue to dig a hole that's going to be increasingly difficult to get out of. Now, mind you, teaching creative thinking is not a very easy thing to do.
No, I don't even know if that's possible.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult.
This is one of those things. I think that people are creative.
Yeah, and we see that here with our students. We have 30 students from Konkuk University and 20 students from Penn State University, and we bring them together now, right? What we saw last year is in the very beginning, the Korean students who were not used to speaking out and saying exactly what they thought, it took a couple days for them to really get comfortable in that space. But as soon as they realized, hey, we are serious, we want to hear from you and what you actually think, then they started to talk, and they said some incredibly
Brilliant.
creative things. And I would ask them, do you say this in your other classes? Like, no, I don't. Nobody ever asks me. And I think, oh my gosh, here's this brilliance right beneath the surface, and it's not coming out.
And I'm assuming young people in Korea they're doing this already, and things are emerging, and it's not what it was. And now that they're connecting across the world, you probably are going to see all of this emerging in a way that maybe doesn't have to be engineered as much as we think.